you.
Conway delivers antiques. That's his job, and there's something noble, something sacred about doing the job you're given to do, even in a world that often offers little reward for good, honest work. But this particular delivery is proving to be quite difficult. The first act of Kentucky Route Zero detailed the strange process of locating the titular road, the only way to the address on Dogwood Drive that is Conway's destination. Here in Act 2, Conway and his companions, an old dog and a woman named Shannon Marquez, find that their travels in an America tinged with magic and sadness are only just beginning. It's a beautiful second chapter in what is shaping up to be a lovely and haunting interactive story. That's what Kentucky Route Zero is. It's a point-and-click adventure insofar as you click on things to interact with them or to move Conway around, and the characters are unquestionably on a kind of adventure. But there are no puzzles here, nor do conversations have the circular structure they do in so many adventure games. Conversations flow forward, as they tend to do in real life. You're not going in a loop asking a series of questions to get important information from other characters, but rather influencing how the conversations move along. In these lyrical conversations, there's a lot of talk of recessions and loans and unscrupulous corporations and people falling on hard times. This is not the prosperous land of the American dream. It's the America in which many seek and few find, while most always feel a little lost. The maps you travel along when moving between locations are wonderfully disorienting, making the America of Kentucky Route Zero feel as unfamiliar as any video game fantasy realm that cries out to be explored. As you move along roads, buildings and landmarks emerge suddenly from the impenetrable darkness. On your way from one spot to another, you might stop to have a strange encounter in a roadside diner or to investigate an old office. All the while, the musical accompaniment hums with the suggestion of transcendent possibilities around every bend in the road. For much of Act 2, there's a lack of forward momentum that can be frustrating, though it's supposed to be somewhat frustrating. No sooner do Conway and Shannon find the Zero and hop on it than they are stymied by the overwhelming bureaucracy of the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, an agency with its offices in a reclaimed cathedral that may have the information Conway needs stashed away somewhere according to its indecipherable filing system. The Bureau's office is indicative of Kentucky Route Zero's tendency to mix the mundane and the unusual to create an America that is simultaneously recognizable and foreign. In many ways, it resembles a typical workplace, but for reasons that are forever beyond explanation, the building's third floor is inhabited by bears. Continuing a trend from its first act, Act 2 toys with typical notions of playable characters. During a museum sequence, you still guide Conway around the environment as you usually do, but in conversations you take the role of museum staff, inquiring with or perhaps interrogating museum residents about the behavior of Conway and his fellow interlopers. Sections like this foster the feeling that you're not so much playing as Conway as you are an observer and a participant in shaping Conway's story. When Conway and Shannon's investigations finally lead them to a way forward on their journey, that step forward is unexpected and wondrous, and the act draws to a close with an image that leaves you eager to learn what other wonders await Conway and company along the Zero. If your travels take you to that mysterious road, you may not find quite what you thought you were looking for, but you'll probably find something you didn't know you needed.